So according to time-honored traditions, if you don't follow the proper renaming ceremonies for your boat, you will incur the wrath of Poseidon. We do not want that, so we are going to rename the boat. And in order to do that, first you have to scrub all traces of the old name. So we've been doing that, we've done that. And then you have to ask Poseidon to remove the old boat name from his ledger of the deed. Once you've done that, then you can go through the renaming ceremony and ask Poseidon to grant safe passage to your new vessel. And then you have to appease the 4 wind gods as well. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. We're not overly superstitious, but as much cuckoo brain stuff as we're going to be doing out there, we can use all the luck we can get. And I've done enough sailboat races in my life to know that when you pray for wind, it comes. And that's definitely Poseidon. So we are going to keep him happy and have a proper renaming ceremony and then sea trial tomorrow. O mighty and great ruler of the seas and oceans, to whom all ships and we who venture upon your vast domain are required to pay homage, I implore you in your graciousness to expunge for all time from your records and recollection the name Van Dutches. We offer these libations to your majesty and your court. I implore you, in your graciousness, to take unto your records and recollection this worthy vessel, hereafter and for all time known as Lokahi II. Great Boreas, exalted ruler of the north wind, grant us permission to use your mighty powers. Great Zephyrus, exalted ruler of the west wind, Great Eurus, exalted ruler of the east wind. Great Notus, exalted ruler of the south wind breath. Let's hope that Poseidon agrees with us and grants us fair passage everywhere that we may venture. And here's to the start of, I don't have any clue what, but it's going to be nerve-wracking, stressful, amazing, exciting, and fulfilling, and some other things that I can't even think of now. When you're opening a bottle, any sparkling wine, champagne, there are a couple things that are going to be universal. One is that a proper bottle, it's going to take exactly 6 turns to pull your cage. You're going to have a protective cage, pull that down and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you should be open. The second is, don't turn the cork, turn the bottle, and it comes right off.
So last night was technically our second night on the boat because we spent one night here right after we bought the boat and then started our trip across the country to Oregon, Phoenix, and back here. So everything is coming together great. We have a sea trial this morning. So Captain Dave, the yacht doctor from the boatyard, is going to help us, mostly to help keep us out of trouble, and he knows the waters really well. So this is going to be Jeff's first time driving this specific boat. So it's gonna take him just a moment to learn how the engines respond and the bow thrusters and just how much give and take it has. So as he learns how this boat maneuvers, we'll have Captain Dave on board with us, helping to get us through the river, which is very, very windy and a lot of hairpin turns and a lot of mega yachts just one after the other. So this is going to be an adventure today. We'll get started in a couple of hours with that. And then tomorrow we're going to have the bilges steam cleaned finally, and we're going to fill up with gas. Then we're going to provision, and after that, off we go. So the sea trial is actually this morning. It's Wednesday morning. It's about 6 a.m. right now. The sea trial got pushed back from yesterday because we're having some work done on the trim tabs and the painter wanted to have all day today. So we are up early doing the sea trial, Jeff's already out there with Captain Dave. They're getting everything ready and we'll get going. It's dark out there right now, so I think we'll be able to catch the sunrise, which should be pretty great.
Just to slow your roll.
We'll do that now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get a feel for how many hundreds of feet we go after we're in neutral.
Security call, 74-foot motor yacht, heading outbound, just coming into the wiggle.
So we're not even halfway through this sea trial and we had a bit of a big snafu. We were coming down the river through the wiggles and we got about 3/4 of the way down and the engine alarm started beeping. The starboard engine was starting to overheat. Luckily, we were nearby a fuel dock. We had to go about another 5 minutes to get to the fuel dock, which is almost at the end of the river. We were just about to go out into the Atlantic. Thankfully, we had the yacht doctor on board because this was a stressful situation. This was Jeff's first time driving this boat, which, by the way, he was doing phenomenal. He came through the wiggles, came down that river, just stellar. Really proud of him. But yacht doctor took over at the very end when we were struggling with the engine temperature and we were trying to dock up to the fuel dock. So we got docked up here and took a quick look down there. Looks like the impeller, one of the impellers is bad. So thankfully, again, the yacht doctor knows a mechanic, so he's coming down with 2 impellers. We're gonna hopefully get those replaced now while we're here and get up and running again. But it's been a stressful few minutes here on this boat.
Well, it's sea trial morning. We are at a fuel dock near the mouth to the Atlantic. We came down the river from Marina Mile and navigated reasonably well. High stress experience for me because this 75-foot, 80,000 plus pound boat does not handle like our 12,000 pound Intrepid. So you have to decide what you want to do, input your controls to the throttles or the rudder or the thrusters, and then about 10 to 15 seconds later, the boat does what you wanted it to do, which means you also have to anticipate when you want it to stop doing that thing, and you have to adjust your controls 10 to 15 seconds before that. So I'm sure in a month it'll be muscle memory. Right now, it's giving me straight up diarrhea.
We're gonna make use of the time we have here at the dock. We're waiting for the mechanic to come down with a couple of new impellers. So Jeff thought he'd go ahead and just test out the generators while we're stopped here at the dock.
This hose is the incoming water supply to the impeller, which is right here. This hose is probably 150, 180 degrees. That should not be hot. This should be fresh water coming in this way. So that's telling us we're not getting water circulation through the system, which is leaning toward the impeller. The impeller blades are going to start heading this direction and hopefully stop right here. But at some point we have to pull this impeller and find every single blade to make sure that there's nothing left in the engine. So that's going to be fun. Great thing about having 2 engines is if something's wrong on one, you go touch the other one and see. This is the impeller on the port engine, nice and cool to the touch. Incoming water line, nice and cool. So that tells us starboard is definitely having a cooling problem. Lot to do on this boat. It's going to be a test at the end of the day. After figuring out the panels and the idiosyncrasies of generator startup, it fired right up. So we're in good shape now. We're running about 17 kW of load on the 20 kW generator and charging the batteries and running all the AC and everything else. So we're in good shape. So, we're already having an impeller issue. The Victron has a fuel gauge. It's reading 15%. Theoretically, that's about 200 gallons of usable fuel. However, the 4 mile or so trip down the river where we should have burned about 5 gallons, maybe 10, it says we burned 20. I don't want anything else to go wrong today, so I'm gonna go ahead and get 100 gallons of diesel here, even though it's a couple bucks more a gallon, but I just want to get it where we know we have enough for sea trial. The funny thing is, Captain Dave, that's on board with us today, keeping me out of trouble, turns out he lives a couple doors down from the dockmaster. But again, Marina Miles, shout out to them, and to Captain Dave, the yacht doctor who works out of Marina Mile. This would be a lot more stressful if we had to figure out who to call and what to do as far as logistics. As soon as we started having this issue, he's on the phone. We've got the parts lined up at the cat dealer. We got the mechanic coming out. He's getting it all organized. So it's a little bit of a, you know, guys, we want to do the manly thing, and we know everything. But man, it sure is nice to know that you know enough to not know. So I'm happy to have Captain Dave's expertise and his contacts and get all this handled. I'm drinking from a fire hose, learning a lot, but hopefully we've hit our little snag and the rest of the day goes well. Fingers crossed. Where am I heading next to here?
You gotta go around the corner, but you'll see as we come up. Well, look at the sailboat. Square rigger.
Yeah, this is a big one.
You don't see that much.
Starting to feel pretty real. I guess this is our life now. So I wouldn't say that I'm not nervous, but it's very new and different from anything I have ever done or experienced. So we'll see what the months ahead hold for us, but we are on the water, we are moving. We've got 2 good impellers now, freshly replaced. They're in great shape. Captain Dave just ran down to the engine room to check on everything down there, and Captain Jeff is at the wheel.
Captain Crunch, I didn't even get any this morning. And both engines are running right at 170 temperature, so that's awesome. And fingers crossed, that was our snafu for the day. There's a lot of moving parts, that's how I'm feeling. I'm watching every gauge and reading like a hog right now.
If you want to go up a little more, I'm going to do another instrument check.
Not sure if it's nerves or these waves, but I am a bit nauseous. So I've also been running around the boat a little bit, so I'm gonna look straight ahead at the horizon and settle down.
On the displays period, I pushed in the big red shutdown button and pulled it back out, and that did reset the system, but it shows no shore power. 2 inverters, we're at starboard generator. That should be the setting there. Now should be able to, I hope, fire up the generator, and that will start to charge the system. I hope. Inverting. There's a main panel with a breaker, and then there's a sub panel with breakers. I didn't look at the sub panel. The main panel was fine. My hope is the inverter system is programmed to automatically kill everything at 20% battery, so you don't ruin the lithium, because you got a dozen $3,000 batteries down there. My hope is the system did what it was supposed to do, killed everything on the boat, and that now it's going to start to come back in. Now we're charging our battery. Now we've got the generator coming in. Now our AC loads are kicking in. Beauty of the lithium system, as long as you don't drop below 20%, is the lithium can assist. So my hope is lithium tried to assist until it hit 20%, then the system saw that and shut everything down. Right about when we tied up, got all the dock lines on, connected to shore power, the whole boat went dark. And so it turns out the lithium battery system has a safety feature that won't let it go below 20% because you'll damage the batteries if you run them all the way down. And so the boat was doing what it was supposed to do, I just didn't know. And that kicked off about an hour of me jumping to worst case scenario and thinking the whole system had been fried. 240, 120, 24 volt, 12 volt, everything was dead. But of course, because everything runs through the lithium, it was self-protecting and shutting itself down. So we got reconnected, actually started up the generator to get enough power to reinitialize the Victron system. Now we're connected to shore power and everything is back up and good. Think we're gonna get the tender down over the weekend and try it out, putt around the river a little bit, maybe have a couple of nice meals, maybe cook a meal now that we're not in a hotel room where I can actually cook a meal. That actually sounds really good. I'm gonna make a steak this weekend and we're gonna open a bottle of wine. So the other thing I wanted to say is really just humbled and honored by the comments that we're getting and the number of people that are watching. So we're gonna keep recording and hope that you keep watching us. The next couple days we'll be loading everything back onto the boat. Now that our trim tabs are put together, we're gonna do provisioning, finally drop off the rental car and go.
So there's been a lot going on. Today is now Thursday. We had the sea trial yesterday, and I just came from the AT&T store. I think I mentioned in last week's video or the video before that my phone died, and what I think happened is I plugged it into a built-in charging port in the car and it fried my phone. It just completely stopped working. I didn't drop it, it was working fine. It was in the charger for about an hour when we did that road trip back up to Madeira Beach, and stopped at a gas station, unplugged it, came back out to the car, and it would not turn on. It has not turned on since Sunday. So we came to the AT&T store to get it figured out. We stopped by the Apple store, but they couldn't fix it. So what I learned after going down a rabbit hole of trying to discover why that happened is that the built-in car charging ports can be dirty power and cause surges. So it's actually pretty dangerous. It might fry the phone like it did mine. So what they recommend, they as in the internet, so what is the recommended practice is to use a cigarette charging port for your device. So you use a high quality cigarette lighter adapter that will charge your phone, and that way it protects the power coming out of the car going through that adapter into your phone. Same thing with the wall charger adapter. So you plug in the adapter into a regular outlet, and that helps to protect the phone. So that's what I'm gonna do from now on. That's the lesson I learned. I am only going to use the Apple, the M5 certified cables, and a reputable wall charger or cigarette lighter adapter. So that's a little lesson, something I learned for today. We came out to buy some groceries, something we haven't done in years without the help of Instacart. So we're not really sure what we bought or how to buy stuff. And we also parked about a block away.
Yeah. Groceries.
So it's now Saturday, and we didn't get the tender down like we had wanted to, and Jeff did not make me a steak or pour me a glass of wine, but I won't hold that against him because it's been very busy. We've still had a lot to do. We ended up swapping out the pumps, the macerator pumps.
Yep.
We ended up swapping out the macerator pumps, and that happened today. And then we finished cleaning off the boat, cleaning up the boat, and so we've made some real progress. We're ready for guests, and I think we're ready to head out Monday morning. So that's the plan. So if all goes well, we'll be out of the marina Monday morning, starting the adventures outside of the boatyard. I'll give you a little tour of what we've done in the cabins. And now we're heading off to do some actual provisioning. This time, we thought about what we were gonna eat, and then we made a grocery list. So this time, we're ready to actually go shopping. The last exciting thing we have to show you is all of the progress we made, and by we, I mostly mean Jeff, that we made in the warehouse. If you remember the before picture, we pulled off 30 plus boxes just out of the engine room and crew quarters. That didn't even count the stuff we pulled out of the pump room, but you saw the warehouse before. This is what it looks like now. We've gone through it and organized it and slimmed it down, so all this is going back on the boat. Hopefully tomorrow. It has to be tomorrow.
It has to be tomorrow, and there's a lot of stuff we're going to leave with the yard, but everything here is probably 20% of what was here before.
It's organized. I cleaned the tops of the bins and ready to go back on. Good job, Jeff. So we'll see you guys next week. Wish us luck. Hopefully we get underway Monday morning.